So, what is poverty? Poverty comes from sin. And with sin came a lot of evil. And one of the evils that I hate, which I hate evil in general, but there are some that I feel like I hate more than others, which I feel like you should just, hate evil entirely. But poverty is one of the things that I hate. And I feel like something, you should never be comfortable with. Because I feel like we can all change that, obviously through God's will and through His power. But I feel like we should all never get comfortable with being poor. Being poor isn't what God willed. Like it wasn't His will for us to be poor. It wasn't something He wanted. He wanted us to be abundant and have dominion over everything and things of that sort. But with evil came poverty. And if you look at a place like Haiti, for example, I am a Haitian man. Um, and my roots are, from Haiti. Haiti is a place it has a lot of evil. It has a lot of witchcraft. That's like one of the main things. And if you look at that place, it's, a place of poverty. My family, they don't come from riches or anything. Like it really is a place of poverty. My dad had to make it out of Haiti. And honestly, that's how he gave his life to Christ. He made it to the States and gave, me and my siblings life here on Earth. I mean, here on Earth, but also like in the States. So with that, it even made me realize that I have to be doing something. But I know according to God, like I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna seek first His kingdom always, because that's what I have to do, and everything will be brought forth, and come to me. But I'm here to tell you guys the same thing. I'm here to tell you that you guys need to seek first the kingdom, and things will be brought forth unto you. Now, I know it may not seem simple because money is something we really need to kind of survive, in today's society. And a lot of people, they kind of have that, fast lifestyle mindset where they want to make money as fast as possible. They see a lot of, YouTubers or content creators or just social media influencers making so much money and millions and in day trading and other businesses. And people see that and they want that. They want to experience that. But I'm here to tell you that you need to build yourself first. Build yourself up first before you are able to even get those things, obtain those things. Example, you are a single man, you want a wife. Say you're somebody who wakes up in the morning and doesn't shower and just, maybe brushes his teeth, but goes to work, doesn't fix up his bed or anything like that. Like things like that, you're not going to be ready to have a partner because your partner's not going to want, someone like that. They're going to want someone who's organized, someone who is disciplined. Like you got to be prepared, you know, to be a husband before you are a husband. And it's the same way with being a businessman. You got to be prepared to be a businessman before you are a businessman. Like, and I'm here to tell you that there are key things that I think you should be doing in order to become a businessman and in order for God to bless you. Now, sometimes, maybe you don't even go through those steps. Maybe you can, be fortunate enough to be successful, but something can go wrong and God can use that and turn it into good. He can use that to, have you have the experience and see what it's like to be down in order to go back up. Some people are just, fortunate to be born in a family where they are rich, but maybe they just lose it all. Others are, born without anything and they got to kind of build themselves up because you know, we got to be prepared before we are blessed with things. So, what I'm trying to say here is there's some key things that I think, people who want to be an entrepreneur and be successful, and make money, I feel like there are some key things that you need to have. And one is to not be lazy. It is all over the book of Proverbs, all over. I cannot tell you. Like, if you read the book of Proverbs, that's one of the first books that I read in the Bible where I actually like locked in, and that's how I like gave my life to Christ. was the book of Proverbs. Like that, it made me realize. And then, of course, Matthew and all that. But yeah, the book of Proverbs is something I recommend everybody to read. When you're getting into the Bible, especially, like, oh my gosh, it has so much wisdom. If you're seeking wisdom, I'd say read the book of Proverbs. But laziness is something you should not love. You cannot be lazy. All right, so I found some verses real quick. Proverbs 13 verse 4 says, "The soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich." Hear this verse out again. The soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing. You can literally be all talk and have nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. You got to take action. You got to stop being lazy. Proverbs 19 verse 15. Laziness casts one into a deep sleep, and an idle person will suffer hunger. Another example of what laziness can cost you. This is what I'm talking about. You gotta stop being lazy. And this is what I mean when I say read Proverbs. You will get a lot of wisdom and knowledge, and it will wake you up. It will read you like a book. I recommend you read Proverbs, especially if you want to be a businessman. That and Ecclesiastes. I love those two. Um, because Ecclesiastes talk about, just chasing, after the wind, which is like, money and this and that. But those two books I love. The next key I want to talk about is the love of serving people. I think one of the biggest ideas that I struggled with was learning to love to serve people. I feel like I am somebody who I honestly did not. I will say I definitely, I don't want to say hate, but I definitely did not like being a person who would serve people. Like, I was the type of person that loved to stay to myself. That's why I feel like it's taken me so long to get to this point where I'm like talking about these things now. I hated, you know, being around people. I hated customer service, we'll say. Like in jobs, for example. I hated customer service because I've just been around people and I just know I'm a kind soul. I'm a kind man and I know people will take advantage of your kindness. So it's something I just hate. It developed something in me where I just didn't like to serve people because I always felt like either I'd be taken advantage of or, people are just too cruel for no reason. Like I don't it's draining to me. It's draining being around people. In turn, that made me hate, the idea of serving others. Obviously, reading my word and made me realize I need to learn to serve people and I need to learn to love to serve people because I can't just do it because of selfish reasons. I gotta actually want to do it, like love it, because God sees your heart. So what I'm trying to say is, as a businessman, you're gonna want to learn to serve people. You want to learn to love to serve people. Especially Jesus himself, who came down on this earth and humbled himself. He touched this dirty earth that we live in, humbled himself, and served others. Mind you, he is God. Like, what? Come on. So you need to learn to serve people and just love doing it. You have to have the heart to do so. I feel like if you are a businessman, that's something you gotta want to do. And honestly, with that, like if you want to be in today's times, being a businessman, you have to learn to want to solve people's problems. Solving people's problems is like one of the biggest ways of making money because people love, spending on things that will solve their problems. Honestly, you can write a book about things that, that's full of problems and people will spend their money on it as long as it helps them. Anytime you're trying to help somebody, they're going to want to spend on that. Like, you got to learn to want to solve people's problems. Like, what can you do? You can figure it out. Pray. Ask God, what can you do? What can you do with your skills that He's blessed you with? Your gifts that He's blessed you with, rather. So learn to love to solve people's problems. And you have to really do it out of selflessness. Don't do it because, oh, I'm going to make money out of this now. Like, no. Really want to help people. Do it. God knows your heart. He knows your true intent. You got to be, intentional in helping people because you want to, And that's where I'm at in the stage of my life is I want to help people. And that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm just going off the top here with this video, but I think one of the last key points that I have for this moment, I will always talk about these things. I'm gonna always bring it up and try to make videos on these topics because I feel like it's really good. But for now, the last key point I have, this is off the top, is you gotta do business that honors God. And I'm not saying it has to, be like something very how do you say, religious or anything. Like, I mean in terms of do it in a way that honors him. Like, don't do business that defiles God, that goes against what God is. Because the thing is, God is not gonna bless your business if you're doing things that's, evil in a sense. Let's say you are somebody who owns a club, like you're a businessman, right? And you own a club. Do you think, you know, God would want that for you? I don't think God would want to bless, somebody who owns a club. And I'm talking about like a dance club or a strip club or something. Like that ain't God. God is not gonna bless something like that. Like honestly, that's a lot of evil surrounding it. And God doesn't go against his word. I think you need to learn to be a businessman that honors God, it's honorable to his kingdom because you could be in business right now and be struggling and think to yourself, like, does it really serve him in any way? Do you serve him in any way when you have your business? Like, my dad, for example, was a barber. Now, he was a great barber. He had his own barber shop. Like, and I say he was pretty successful for a first generation man who made it out his uh island to be in the States and was able to, work diligently to the point where he could have his own business and even retire. I mean, God rest his soul, he passed away, but for him to be able to do all those things, he was serving people. You would think like, oh, I mean, what does the barbershop business have to do with God? But it's not like what you think. It's more so just the heart. He was serving people, he was cutting people's hair, he was doing a service for people, and God blessed him, and he was making money doing it. Not to mention, he was always in his word and, reading his Bible, and honestly, he was also talking about God to people. Like, so just do things in honor of him, and God will bless you. Always put God above it all. Pray, before your decisions, your big decisions especially. Ask God to show you the way. Let him be the light to your path. And just ask him and always put God, first amongst everything. But those are the key things that I just wanted to point out, I guess, as business minded people. Definitely do these things. And I feel like that will get you in the right direction when it comes to success. And I know it will because God doesn't go against his word. God is true to his word. And he will bless those who are righteous. And that's what you got to strive to be, man. Just be righteous. And another verse that I wanted to put out there that helped me and hopefully it can help you guys. Now, I was somebody who hated, like I said, I despise customer service jobs. I worked at a grocery store and I was crying to God. I'm like, God, I really want to get out of here. He did allow me to. Like I worked, I walked around jobs just asking, like driving around asking for, an opportunity to work in. God bless me with it. But in this case, of course, I prayed and told him like I want to serve people. There was a point where I legit, even I was still at the grocery store. I prayed to him. I'm like, God, I'm just gonna keep working and I will serve people. Even if I don't like this job. I'm gonna keep working and just minding my business. And this is the verse that made me realize like I gotta do it. First Thessalonians chapter 4 verse 11, which says, "Make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. You should mind your own business and work with your hands, just as we told you." This is what really opened my eyes and made me like realize like, nah, I gotta keep going. Just keep working. Don't complain. God is gonna, get me out of this. He hears me. But hopefully this can help you. Um, and that's all I just wanted to lay out there. So these verses I think are nice, and maybe it'll wake you up and get you going.